Assalamualaikum. My name is Atika. My metric number is 2318746. This video presentation is about political parties in the Republic of Korea. But before that, in my part, I will briefly explain the history of South Korea from the liberation to the authoritarian regime in the 1950s to the 1970s, and finally the democratization in the 1980s. In 1945, Korea liberated from Japanese annexation because the Japanese lost in the World War II. Subsequently, the United States occupied the South of Korea and the Soviet Union occupied the North of Korea. And in the 15 August 1948, the United States ended the occupation of the South Korea, marking the dates of South Korea independence. Several years after that, in 1950, a war between the North and the South Korea broke out, which is called the Korean War. And then 3 years after that, in 1953, the war ended when both sides agreed to sign the armistice to stop further violence and to reaffirm the 38th parallel as a division between the two countries. President Lee was the first president of South Korea since 1948. Under his administration, the post-Korean War's economy did not improve, and the corruption was rampant. He and his members from Liberal Party used bribery, manipulating elections, and misused armed sources to preserve their power. This created political instability. Thus, people hated this government. And in the 1960s, when fraudulent election allegedly happened under Lee's administration, people went out to protest on the street, which then called April Revolution, that forced him to resign his position. And then Prime Minister Chang Myon stepped up as the highest power in the country. He established the Second Republic in 1960. However, there's no improvement in the post-Korean War's economy either, and the people still hated the government because there's no changes in the ministries. And amidst all the chaos in the country, in 1961, a year later, General Park Chung-hee launched a coup to overthrow the government. Under General Park's administration, the post-Korean War's economy had seen some improvement because of the programs that he initiated. However, working class people are the most affected in the programs because they were forced to work tirelessly for the sake of the economy. General Park doesn't care about his people. He only cares about money and power, which is also one of the reasons why he got assassinated in October 1979. Amidst the chaos after the assassination, General Chun Do-hwan ascended to the president's position. His government was considered to be a legitimate government, and similar to General Park's administration, General Chun also ruled the country with iron fist. For example, his declaration of martial law on May 17, 1980, which banned all political activities, including arresting several politicians, incite protest demonstration in Gwangju 1 day after the declaration. Student-led demonstration became so big that President Chun ordered the military to kill civilians that involved. This event was called Gwangju Massacre, where the government intentionally killed innocent civilians. Finally, in the 1987 election, Roh Tae-woo was elected by direct popular vote to become the next president. President Chun made way for Roh Tae-woo to become the representative for Democratic Justice Party. Democratic Justice Party (DJP) and the opposition, the New Korea Democratic Party (NKDP), was two dominant parties at the time. The sentiment of the people was anti-government. However, the DJP still won the election. This is because the opposition was not united and they even fought among themselves. Nevertheless, the election of 1987 promised a democratic reform of the government. South Korea has gone through a lot to achieve the democracy it is today. Their ancestors persevered and fought against the authoritarian regimes that limit their freedom, just so that now South Korea can enjoy their rights such as freedom of speech and freedom of association while feeling safe and protected.
South Korean politics practice a multi-party system and a presidential representative democratic republic in which the president serves as the head of the state. Their political party consists of major political parties and also minor political parties. There are two major political parties in South Korea, which are the Democratic Party of Korea and also the People Power Party. Meanwhile, the minor political parties include the Justice Party, the Progressive Party, the Basic Income Party, and also the Hope for of Korea. All these parties have their own ideologies, which will be further explained. The first one is the Democratic Party of Korea, DPK, formerly known as the New Politics Alliance for Democracy, NDAP, is one of the major political parties in South Korea. The party was formed on March 26, 2014 through the union of the New Political Vision Party led by Ahn Cheol-soo and the Democratic Party which is led by Kim Han-gil. Later, the NDAP was renamed as the Democratic Party of Korea on December 15. As for now, the current leader of this party is Lee Jae-myung, and this party has competing against the second largest political party, which is the People Power Party. Latest 21st National Assembly, which the election held on 15 April 2020, the Democratic Party of Korea win 164 seats, while the other major political parties, the PPP, won 112 seats. The Democratic Party of Korea is seen as a progressive party since small parties are rarely elected to office, which drive most of the progressive voters to strategically vote for the Democratic Party of Korea. This will assure progressive voters that if they choose the Democratic Party of Korea over the conservative People Power Party candidates, it will represent a progressive principle. As a result, it contrasts to the right wing of PPP in Korea. The DPK is now seen as progressive versus conservative or left-leaning versus right-leaning. This can be seen where the left wing of the Democratic Party of Korea is criticized by certain conservative legislators who call it the Democratic Party of Korea as a left dictatorship or extreme left.
Next, continue with the second largest party in South Korea, which is People Power Party. Basically, People Power Party is a dominant party after Democratic Party of Korea. This party was formerly known as the United Future Party that established on 17 February 2020. But on 31 August 2020, its name was changed to the People Power Party. This party was formed through the merger of the Liberty Party of Korea, New Conservative Party, and Onward for the Future 4.0, as well as several smaller parties and political organizations. Furthermore, this party was led by Hwang Kyo-ahn as the president. People Power Party also have their own logo, and there are three colors which are red, blue, and white. So, how was this party established? This party was established in response to Park Geun-hye's scandal and corruption in 2016 when she was president of South Korea at the time. So, it caused changes in the political system of South Korea, especially for two parties, namely the Saenurin Party and Baroin Party. After that, these two conservative parties have held a surprise leadership election which eventually resulted in the establishment of several new parties such as Onward for Future 4.0 and the New Conservative Party based on the decision of members who left certain parties. As a conservative union, the Liberty Party of Korea, Onward for Future 4.0, and the New Conservative Party agreed to merge and form a new party. The new party's name was first planned as Grand Unified New Party, but it was quickly altered to United Future Party (UFP) by merger leader and refounder Park Hyun-jun, who said that the name represented support for youth and political unity. Following the merging and re-establishment of three conservative parties into the United Future Party (UFP) on 17 February 2020, Wang Hyuk-an was chosen as the new president of the United Future Party (UFP). Therefore, this party has grown, and in 2020, the United Future Party contested the 2020 general election in an alliance with the Future Korean Party. However, this two-party alliance was defeated in the election with some of the worst results in history for a conservative party in South Korea. Then, in 2022, Yoon Suk-yeol, as a president of People Power Party, joined the presidential election and was elected as president of South Korea after winning that election. Because of that, the People Power Party also recorded a significant victory where the party regained 4 out of 5 state assembly constituencies. Currently, the People Power Party (PPP) holds the presidency of South Korea. Lastly, about their ideology. This party, generally known as Conservative Political Party and is labeled as right-wing. PPP is strongly anti-communist.
Next is the minor party that currently has a seat in South Korean National Assembly, the Progressive Party. The party was formed on October 15, 2017 as the People Parties or the Minjung Party. This party formed through the merger of People United Party and the New People's Party. It was later renamed as the Progressive Party during the Third National Party office election on June 20, 2020. The Progressive Party is a Labour Centre party with progressivism as its ideological root. Furthermore, it also holds the ideology of anti-imperialism. This can be proved by the motto of independence, equality and unification. The Progressive Party is a direct people party that ushered in a period of national independence, people's sovereignty and also a lasting peace. In addition, this party also aims to end the gender-based violence and exploitation, rejecting all the gender-related discrimination, thereby creating a society where the justice and the democracy are created together with the realization of human rights. Moving on to the minor political parties in South Korea, one of them is the Justice Party. It was founded on October 21st, 2012, through a coalition of liberal and social democratic forces. It was founded by the former United Progressive Party members Roh Ho-chan and Sim Sang-jun, as well as Ryu Si-min. Back then, it was known as the Progressive Justice Party until it changed its name to the Justice Party during the party congress on July 2018. According to the Justice Party website, this party is a progressive party, which means their ideological root of this party is progressivism. Moreover, it also considered as liberalism and social democracy. The Justice Party is a workers' party that also fight for the fair social welfare of the country and will lead a broad coalition to protect and expand the right of all workers. It also focuses on irregular workers and pay special attention to defending the poor who are not aware of their rights as workers, including the young job seekers, small business owners and also irregular workers.
So, let's move to two other minor political parties in South Korea, which are Basic Income Party and Hope of Korea. Alright, first of all, Basic Income Party is a small party or what we call a minor party in South Korea that was formed to advocate for and protect the community's right to a minimum wage that every adult should receive. This party was formally founded on 19 January 2020, led by Yoon Hae-in. In addition, the aim of this party is to address economic challenges through universal basic income. The Basic Income Party promoted their idea at first through catchphrase 600,000 South Korea won a month for all. But after that, they changed it and raised it to 650,000. Its main focus is reducing poverty and inequality. This party also supports policies that promote social welfare and economic stability. They emphasize the importance of individual freedom and dignity. Furthermore, about ideology, it should be noted that the Basic Income Party lacks a formal doctrine or ideology. However, we can conclude that this party's ideology is liberal because majority of Basic Income Party leaders are characterized as socially liberal and supportive of feminism and LGBT rights. Okay, we continue with the last minor party, which is Hope of Korea Party. Hope of Korea Party, the newest established minor party that currently has a seat in the South Korea National Assembly. Hope of Korea is a party founded on 28 June 2023 and this party was legally registered with the National Election Commission in August 2023. Moreover, this party was led by Yang Hyang-ja, an independent lawmaker who left the Democratic Party. The aim of this party is to unify people while focusing on the nation's economy and providing a future vision for the country. About the ideology, since this is a new party, so there are no confirmation about that. But we can conclude that their party's ideological roots are pragmatism, scientific politics, and technocracy, since Yang Hyang-ja is one that highlights science and technology.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Afina binti Kamal Zaman. I will introduce you about the challenges of South Korea in facing unemployment issues and the contribution to solve this issue. Careers are important for each person in their lifetime nowadays. It gives people long-term financial stability and encourages Unfortunately, in 2020, South Korea was facing the critical issue in raising the unemployed youth giving up on job searching because of internal and external factors. The several state issues of 36,000 aged 19 to 34 released by Statistic Korea and almost 30.7% choose to be not married and having children, and the most critical causes recorded is the lack of marriage funds and economic factors. Since they were failing in researching their job, they decided to not have their livelihood of finding a spouse and having children, and the average number of having a baby was down from 0.7 to 0.05 from a year ago, and this statistic has happened since 2009. South Korea is actually facing a lack of job opportunities because average time for them to get their first job took more than 3 years. In addition, South Korea reached the highest level of youth unemployment rate, which was 13.40% in February of 1999, and also had a record low percentage of 3.80% in July of 19. Additionally, in terms of unemployment reason, almost 5,000 people had experienced self-isolation and they preferred to be cut off from social relations or not leave home for months. Therefore, young people who are employers are also facing dissatisfaction with their life, although they have a higher qualification of studies and have a good job. These are part of critical causes because this has an impact in most particular parts of their life, like not having their own houses and still living with their parents, and cannot be independent and have insecurity to be better. They lack free time to have leisure and personal care compared to older working age adults. This also will affect them to have a better life while having a normal way of life in terms of wealth, positive emotion and freedom. Okay, next I will discuss about the contribution from the party to solve the unemployment issues. The contribution from the several parties in South Korea has an important role to increase the employment rate, with the reliable suggested for the improvement and address the rising unemployment among the youth. Despite we'll discuss more which parties contribute to the unemployment issues. Firstly, Democratic Parties of South Korea, which Finance Minister Kim Dong-yoon have a collaboration with SMEs to expand support for smaller firms to put smart factories. Secondly, the Justice Party also is one of the parties in South Korea that have contributed in solving the unemployment problem, especially for the youth generation. Justice Party react this issue with modernized vocational education and high quality in university education level. Then they provide quality jobs proactively, like providing the ecology industry and cultural field. And then purpose of the government for having the stable housing, especially for youth generation. And lastly, the the People Power Party, which we call it EPP, was seeking to solve the unemployment issues by preparing and strengthening for the new norm of jobs in terms of soft skill in having an extra money. Creation of quality jobs in the market as the ultimate goal of economic policy, making a positive environment in the workplace that uses the term work-life balance.
So, in conclusion, we already know that the Republic of Korea is a multi-party country with two major parties dominated, which is the Democratic Parties of Korea and the People's Parties of Korea. So, the Democratic Parties of Korea is the current government right now, while the People's Power Party is the second largest party in the South Korea, which currently uh, which currently hold as an opposition in the National Assembly, in the government. So, based on the presentation from my other group members, which is regarding the history and the evolution of these both major parties, we could see that these both major parties have a very long history. They have already been dominated parties for a very long time, however with a different name before. Why? Because there are some issues that happen regarding that party and they come out with a different name, they come out with a different coalition, but they still are the same people. For example, the People Power Party, they changed their name to People Power Party on 2020 during the election that year, during the election that year. And because the parties that the other parties that they are before have some issues that happened, and they changed their name and they made a new coalition for the election during that time. So because of this, these two major parties, they have a very strong and very big supporters and voters among the Korean itself. And this is why the minor part, even though there are a lot of minor parties in South Korea, but they have a very low chance to win a seat if they are not part of the coalitions of this major party. Because they have to compete with a very strong candidate which come from these two major parties. And then we go to the last point that presented by Sister Afrina about the issues. One of the main issues that the South Korea face, which is the unemployment issue, or the increasing of the young unemployment issues in the South Korea. So we could see from the presentation how the different ideological roots come out with the different action, the different idea, the different policies on how to reduce these unemployment issues in the South Korea. For example, we could see how the current government, which is the Democratic Parties of Korea, they come out with a policy to help reduce these issues. So what will actually happen to the futures of the political parties of the Republic of Korea? So we believe, this is based on our discussions and observation, we believe that firstly is these two major parties will still remain as the dominated parties of the South Korea. Why? Because they already have a very long history and also a very strong attachment with the Korean citizen itself. Second, we think that they might have a chance for the People's Power Party to win against the Democratic parties in the next election that will happen on April this year. Why? This is based on the result of the 2022 presidential election that happened 2 years after the election that win by the Democratic parties. So that the presidential election was happened to be win by the candidate of the opposition party, which is the People's Power Party candidate. While the current government candidate lost by only small percentage of voters, and according to the report, this actually happened because the young and the new voters, and also the 20s and 30 voters, they start to split their views on the current government. Why that happened? This is because first, they dissatisfied with the current government. Second, they believe that the Democratic parties is tainted by a government that's tainted by the corruption. And the third one is they are more acceptable, they are more attached to the People's Power Party's policies. So this is why the current president of the Republic of Korea is part of the peoples of the opposition currently, right now. So then we also think that in the near future there will be a lot of minor party with a very ideological roots will be established and registered legally. This is because we could see that all of the minor parties that currently the Republic of Korea have, they have their own objective why they were established. And then we also think that the current minor party in the National Assembly right now, which is the Hope of Korea, the Progressive Party, which only have 1 seat in the National Assembly right now, we believe that in the next election they might have a very low chance to win a seat. Why? Because these parties, they win the seat not during the election, the National Assembly election. They win the seat because of something that happened which lead to a by-election. For example, the Progressive Party, they win the seat right now. The seat that they have right now are win through the by-election, not through the election that happened on 2020. So this is what we think about the futures of the political parties of the Republic of Korea will happen. So that's all from us. Thank you.